Hi guys, so I literally just ended my fitness video 2 seconds ago and we're just gonna hop into the health one. We're just gonna knock it out of the way because I know this isn't particularly interesting or fun or exciting, but like I mentioned in the last video, it needs to be said. Or if you didn't see the last video and you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, welcome to the video. This is part 2 of a 2-part video. Part 1 was my fitness journey, and this is going to be all about my health journey. I separated them because it's a long story, and I separated them because it's a different story. And the last video is somewhere that I never want to be again in my life. And this video is kind of where I am now, and kind of for the past year, I would say, what I've been learning and all that kind of good stuff. And I did mention in the last video, but if you didn't see it, I am starting a new program, or did start a new program that I want to be sharing more about it with you guys. I want to be sharing all this information and you guys kind of not knowing where I came from. So if you don't care about this video, that's totally fine. No hard feelings. So in the last video, we pretty much just left off when I came home from Florida and I said, I'm never tracking macros again. And I had become super obsessed with Sarah's Day, who I honestly, guys, like, I just think that she is such a huge part of kind of the way I think now. Like, I'm really thankful for her and her channel because she really was like so inspirational to me, and she still is. Like, I still absolutely love her, listening to her podcast, watching her channel, all that kind of good stuff. She is like a little bit more into working out and fitness than I probably ever will be, but she is still like really cool and I really love her. So yeah, there was like a really good chunk of time that I was like obsessed with the foods that I was eating. I wanted to learn about like superfoods and making all these cool smoothies and making all these good salads, and I was eating so many like micronutrients, and there was a good chunk of time that I was feeling like amazing, like I was so awake and I was just like really doing well. And I just kind of hit a wall and I was just bloated constantly all the time, like painful, like my skin was stretching out. I was so bloated, like rock hard stomach, like skin stretching. Like I used to joke like, what do I look like, 7 or 8 months pregnant? My mom would be like, maybe 5 or 6. I'm like, great, thanks. Obviously, I knew it had to be something I was eating. I didn't know what, I didn't know how to figure it out on my own. So I did end up going online and finding a nutrition coach near me. And I went and met with her, and I think I had like 5 sessions with her. And I basically just kept a food journal like every day, every time. I would write down what I ate, how I felt. I think that she did teach me, like, she taught me a lot of cool things I didn't know already. So that was good. I mean, but I don't think she did anything like really great for me. I was kind of hoping for something more. You know, she would just kind of look through and be like, oh, well, like, let's try this. I'm like, oh, let's try this. And I know it's a process, and I know, especially when you're doing something like that, where it's just naturally like changing your diet and waiting to see how you feel, like you just kind of have to try stuff and like hope for the best. And if that doesn't work, then you just try something else and hope for the best, which is frustrating. It just felt like I had those 5 sessions that I kind of just felt like, okay, like sometimes I know when I don't know, it was like it got a little bit better, but it wasn't anything like great. And you know, I was eating like super healthy, like tons of fruits and vegetables, and I even still, like, I absolutely love, always have loved fruits and vegetables. I noticed that when I would like go have a bad meal, like go out to dinner and get like a burger and fries, or like a giant sub sandwich, like I would be less bloated. And again, now like I know why, because you know, I just think that all those, I would eat so many salads, guys, like so many salads. I love salad, and I actually like miss salad because I'm not eating a lot right now, because I know that all those raw vegetables, they're gonna make you bloated because your body can't like break them down as much. But instead of just like learning how to like maybe eat a little bit better, I was just like, well, it's a lot easier for me to like eat a burger and fries. If I feel better eating a burger and fries than I do eating a salad, well then I'm just gonna eat like crap again. So there was like a good chunk of time where I was eating like crap again, and I would try to like be as good as possible. But it just gets frustrating when you eat something healthy and like you feel like crap. Like why? Why is that? Why does that happen? And yes, during this time of when I was like eating healthy, like salads all the time, and then when I kind of gave up, but like I still was incorporating exercise into my life. I knew exercise isn't going to be the focus of this video like it was in the last one, but like I know exercise is important. I know it's good for you. I had switched kind of my routine from working out in the evening to working out in the morning. And I would just basically, you know, knock out like a quick 30-45 minute session and like go home. Kind of around this time that I was just giving up, I also moved in here. And I think that me moving in with Joey kind of added on this like whole like new idea of relationship weight, like like I don't know that I gained like relationship weight, but I like living together weight should be like a real thing. We would cook dinner together, we got HelloFresh for a while, we would always like drink wine and sit on the couch and eat ice cream, and I miss those days. They were so fun. And it's so fun. Like we had so much fun just like sitting on the couch and like drinking and eating. That's like all we would do, and it was the best. And I would say that exercise kind of left my life a little bit more when I got Phoebe, because when I got her, I didn't want to leave her. And I started to, again, go in the morning. I would leave her at home, and because if you guys don't know, I do take Phoebe to work with me, so it was hard for me to leave her at home. But oh my gosh, you're such an angel. I love it when she sleeps on her side. I just love you. What? I got distracted. So I did work out in the morning for a while, but then it was just like, it was working for me for sure for a while. Also, like we don't get up as early as we used to, which kind of affects it. But I'm at the point now where it's like, if I'm not enjoying it, like I'm not really like, I know you have to force yourself a little bit to work out, especially when you're like unmotivated and don't love working out like me, but I just don't love the idea of forcing myself into it, because I know I can enjoy it, and I just need to find what that means for me again, and working out in the morning just was not it anymore. I'm not a morning person, so for me to jump out of my bed and go to the gym, it worked for a while, but like I'm done with it. So yeah, I guess we'll just talk about where I am now and how I ended up here. So I started following a girl on Instagram who from now on you will probably hear me talk a lot about, and her name is Eleni, which is Keep Your Keffy on Instagram. If you guys don't follow her, you definitely should. I always like send people to follow her. I loved following Sarah's day because, first of all, if you follow her, you know her content is just so bright and colorful and so beautiful and exciting and fun to look at on Instagram or to watch on YouTube. Like it really just is awesome stuff. She doesn't just like break down information, you know. I think that you really, which I have done, like I've watched most of her videos, but I think that you really have to watch like all of her videos to like get all the information that you want, because she's more of a vlogger, not like a sit down and here is all the information. I really liked Eleni because it was kind of like a lot of the same stuff, but it was more of here is all the information. Here's one Instagram post with like a ton of information. I'm just gonna go on her Instagram and give you guys like an example, and maybe you guys will be drawn to it too. 2 days ago, 10 tips for gut health during travel, and then she like literally lists 10 tips. 5 healthy habits that help balance my hormones and heal my gut. And then she literally has the 5 of them there. Like, I just love her posts so much. They really are so informational. 10 ways to relieve constipation, what you need to do to increase energy. And this is the kind of stuff that really drew me to her. Like, here's one of her posts that says, quote, calories in versus calories out. It's a simple math equation. That's the bottom line, unquote. myth. And she talks a lot about how, you know, yes, you can be working out a ton and you can be, you know, eating less calories than you're putting out, but you're still not losing weight. You know, it's gut issues, it's hormone issues, it's all these different things. And I'm sure that if you watch my last video, I briefly mentioned how I pooped once a week. And and all the bloating that I've already talked about in this video, I talked about in the last video, it was very, very, very obvious that I had major gut issues, which I think when it comes to digestion, you probably don't want me to be talking about constipation and diarrhea too much on my channel, so I won't bore you with that. Yeah, and it was just like, the more I read her post, the more I was just like, this is me. And I'm sure, again, like if you watch my last video, you know that this is me. Like, how obsessed was I with working out? How often was I working out and eating so little and still like not losing weight? And now I know why. It frustrates me because it's like, how does nobody else talk about this? Like, do none of these Instagram models actually like have this issue? I don't know what I did to mess myself up so bad. Like, I just feel like more people need to be talking about this everywhere. And I have said it so many times that the only science to losing weight is eating less calories than you're burning. And I remember my brother would always say, like, I don't believe in calories. And I'd be like, you don't believe in calories? Like, it's science. Like, what are you talking about? And now I'm like, ooh, I don't really believe in calories either. And I'm not gonna get into her information too much. Like, follow her. She's amazing. She has a lot of like story highlights. She has a lot of good information on her posts. And then she's always like posting stuff. She has a program called the Gut Rehab Blueprint. Yeah, it's basically all about healing your gut and healing your hormones. And I was like, I need to do this. I'm obsessed with this girl. I need her in my life. Like, I need her to fix me. I need help because I'm fed up with feeling like this and just like eating like crap and just making it worse for myself, even though, because like that felt a little bit better than like eating vegetables and being bloated all the time. It was a lose-lose situation for me. So she was, I think, like a month away from opening a new round when I was like really interested. So I was like, perfect, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get in. I went on a wait list, and I remember her posting on her stories that she had like 150 girls on her wait list and she was only taking 7. But I think I actually cried because I was like, I'm not gonna get in. I'm gonna be fat and bloated for forever. Just kidding, my knees are hurting. Ugh. So I scheduled a call with her. She's like the interview thing. So I did my little interview with her and I got in and I was really excited. So we talked about doing different testing too, and I did. So guys, I think again, like I cried when I got in because I was so happy. I just felt like this was meant to be. Like I found her, I needed her, and now I have her. And I was so happy. And so I did 2 different tests. One was a GI map and one was a blood test, which was a food sensitivity test. They call it the MRT test. And so I did those. So basically, and it kind of sucked because I was so ready, like I was so excited to start this new program, and it took so long for this test. Oh, it felt like a million years, right? But it took a couple weeks to get these test results back in, and it was so frustrating for me. Yeah, basically she told me everything that was wrong in my stomach, which so much of it, like when she said, this is like this, which is why you feel like this, that. I'm like, yep, that totally makes sense, totally makes sense. And even like a lot of the food sensitivities I had to also made a lot of sense. So basically, I'm on the program now and I'm just about a month in. I did have like a little bit of a rough patch when I was in Vegas. I didn't really totally stick to it, but you know, she knows that. I talk to her like every day. I talk to her about everything. I tell her everything. Like I'm constantly talking to her, which is what I literally like love her. So honest, she's so understanding. She's so smart. Like she's just the best. Basically, I got like a list of supplements based off of my gut issues. And then as far as diet goes, I am basically not having any grains. And then like my list of foods that came up in sensitivity. So one of them is wheat, of course, falls in. One of them's like milk, which I knew that like every time I would eat ice cream, it was bad news. Even like random ones. So there was like super random things that came up. Of course, some of the things like I loved so much, but some of the things like made sense. For example, carrots. Like I know when I eat carrots, like my stomach gets so upset. So like for me to see that on the test, I was like, okay, yeah, like figured that. Some of the worst ones for me, tomato. I cannot even express to you guys how much I love tomatoes. I'm pretty sure before this program, my blood was pumping salsa. Like in the summer, I would eat literally just like tomato, like just straight up cut it up, eat it. Like it's so good. Like I freaking love tomato. I always have. I've always eaten a lot of tomatoes. Like I used to eat, oh my gosh, in the summer, like I would eat like multiple tomatoes in a day. That's probably why it's on my list, because my body's sick of it, but like I'm not. Do I actually ever look good when I'm doing this? I always edit videos at 7 in the morning apparently, which is why I always look like this when I feel like I need to add something. I just wanted to say, I don't think I should have to say it, but I'm going to, like, just in case anybody is paying too much attention to this video. I am not saying if you have stomach issues to cut out like carrots and tomato and milk and wheat. I'm not telling you to do anything at all. I'm just telling you this is what I'm doing and this is what my personal specific blood test was showing. It's not a general rule of thumb, like this is my specific blood.
A blood relative, blood.
Stop saying blood to strangers.
I just had to say that just in case anybody's taking this too seriously. Don't stop eating tomatoes just because I said to. All right, back to your regular scheduled programming. And then just, I don't even know. I'm not gonna obviously go through all of them for you, but basically I'm cutting out like really random stuff. So it's so funny because when I talk to people about this, they're like, oh my gosh, well, what do you eat? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do I eat? Like, I gave you like, yes, I gave you like a pretty hefty list of things that I can't eat, but you know, there's more food in the world than that. And it's just so funny. And I think, you know, I think I had this problem too. And is it the whole world or is it just us Americans that we literally don't understand how to eat if there's no bread involved? To eat gluten-free is impossible. They think that, and I think it's so funny. Like, it's just so funny when I say I eat no grains. People are like, oh my gosh, but I need carbs. Like, well, there's more carbs than just bread and rice, and you know that, right? Yes, I love bread and rice, and honestly, I miss it. What was I craving the other day? I don't remember what I was craving. I was craving something with bread, and I was just, you know, kind of bummed about it. But I'm sure you guys know, like, if you've ever been to like a Whole Foods or a health food store, or even like your generic food stores, there's so many like gluten-free breads, there's so many options. Eleni's taught me like a lot of really cool foods to eat. I've come up with a lot of cool recipes. I found a lot of stuff on Pinterest. So yeah, I really want my next health related video to be like a full day of eating, because people tell me all the time like, okay, well, walk me through a full day of eating. What does it even look like? And so I really want to share that because it's really, guys, it's like not that bad. I miss, yes, the convenience of just like getting Grubhub and getting like burgers and fries. Of course, I'm gonna miss that. Like, life is easier that way. So when I started with Eleni, and it was funny because I actually had sent her a picture a couple days before I started of how bloated I was. And then I sent her a picture like 2 days into it and being like, oh my gosh, the bloating's already down. And within like 4 days of me starting this program, my bloating was so significantly gone down. It was really crazy because like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is actually working, isn't it? Because that's like, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like me, like I'm not like a huge person, right? So like everybody just feels fat when they're bloated. Like you're never gonna feel good when you're bloated. And so that was just like a huge accomplishment for me, just knowing that. And I did like get bloated again last week, instantly figured out what it was, and like a couple days later it was gone. Like it's just crazy to see how fast like these things happen when you get your diet in check. So I still have a long way to go and I still have a lot to learn. But I did really want to kind of start sharing this stuff with you guys because I am really passionate about it. In certain videos, especially like vlogs, I know I did like a healthy morning routine and different stuff like that. I really am passionate about health, but I felt like I couldn't talk about it because I wasn't really that healthy. And now I feel like I am. I mean, I don't think I'm there yet, but I definitely think I'm getting things on track. So I'm really just excited to share that kind of stuff with you guys, and I would definitely recommend checking out Eleni. So yeah, that is it. Holy crap, I've been talking for forever. My voice hurts, my throat hurts. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I enjoyed kind of just like sitting here and chatting, especially with this sweet little baby right here. Come here. Come here, Mama wants to hold you. Mama wants to hold you. Oh. Yeah. She's actually so tired. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of my long story. So please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you didn't like it, then just know that I won't talk about health for forever. We'll get back to beauty stuff again. And please subscribe to see more of me and my little baby girl here. And we will see you in our next one. Bye.